Good morning, guys. Backwaters and Backroads here, obviously. So today is the day that we're going to take a journey to the lake inside the lake. There's a lake inside Manitou Island here. It's called Perch Lake. How we're going to do it is take the inflatable. We're going to go over to Fisherman's Bay, and we're going to try to find the elusive trail that probably is overgrown by now, and beat our way into the lake. And I'm taking some fishing gear, and we're going to see if there's some perch in Perch Lake. So, and probably doing some other things today too to make a full episode. So please stay tuned. Okay guys, I'm gonna try these untested waters here. Hold on a second. I gotta straighten the boat. Always straighten the boat. Okay. So we're gonna try to put some lake trout on the menu tonight. I'm fishing. So there's the lighthouse on Manitou. And I came out to 100 feet of water, which is normally where I catch them in Noggin. So we're gonna put a couple poles out and see what happens. Hey guys, this is a really iconic bird in this part of the world. It's a loon. They're the ones that sound like a crying woman at night. They go, wah, wah. Like they sound like people screaming. A loon. Just out here in 80 feet of water, Lake Superior. Okay guys, I confirmed it. There's Lakers. So, if you come up to Manitou and you stay in the cove that I'm in, there's the lighthouse, and well, July, about 75 feet of water, and that's fatty too. Look at the storm coming in, guys. Look at this fat boy, guys. Hee-haw. I missed one, got him up to the top and he came off. And then I got this guy in. He's got a big old fat belly. Had to screw up his mouth to get the hook out, but yeah. Fish for dinner and breakfast. stop off at this beach right behind the lighthouse here on the way to Fisherman's Cove because I want to see if there's some beach glass here. It's kind of hard to get to by land because there's no trails getting to it, at least that I could find, but we can do it really easy with the dinghy here. So, pit stop. Well guys, this doesn't look like a really good beach glass beach because the excuse me, because the rocks are too big. You got to kind of have like really small pea gravel or even sand. There might be beach glass here, but you can never really find it with rocks this big. So it's okay, good to know. I've always wondered. There was a shipwreck that happened a couple years ago just coming around Manitou Island, a sailboat, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm pretty sure this is some wreckage off of it. This looks like an old table where the posts would go in. And I was just looking at this. It says, made in Netherlands. And then whatever that name is that I can't pronounce. Who can? Yeah, little piece of shipwreck.
Coast Guard Air Station Traverse City said of the incident, "We responded to an uncorrelated Mayday call in the vicinity of the Keweenaw Peninsula on Saturday morning at around 6:30 a.m. After fighting through 30-knot winds and snow, our crew found a sailboat hard aground on the rocks in Manitou Island, Lake Superior. Our rescue swimmer was able to safely evacuate the man to shore, where the flight mechanic hoisted him into a helicopter. He was then transported to Houghton, Michigan for medical evaluation and treatment. The fact that the gentleman was wearing a life jacket plus a cold water survival suit helped ensure that this story had a happy ending. The Coast Guard sector Sault Ste. Marie received the radio distress call at 5:30 a.m. and an MH-60 Jayhawk helicopter was launched from Air Station Traverse City. By 8:35 a.m., the helicopter's crew was communicating with the stranded boater and soon located the boat. They sent a rescue swimmer who helped to hoist the distressed mariner. From the Coast Guard reports, it is not clear what caused the 73-year-old man and his sailboat to go into that rocky inlet. We don't know if it was adverse winds or engine failure. It is also not clear why the man did not row to shore. His dinghy was clearly deployed, and the shoreline did not look that far in what seemed to be a rough but protected inlet. Slowboat Sailing spoke to Towboat US in Sault Ste. Marie a few days after the September 29th incident, and at that time, Towboat US said the boat was still on the rocks and likely breaking up. Towboat US Sault Ste. Marie was uncertain about who was leading the salvage efforts for the wrecked sailboat. Boats come to grief typically at land, not at sea. The Coast Guard encourages all mariners to carry EPIRBs, flares, wear life jackets, and have a working VHF radio. Thanks to the brave men and women of the U.S. Coast Guard who participated in this rescue.
We're just cruising the shoreline here, looking for a trailhead. Probably won't be able to see it from the water, but I can tell by that the lake, Perch Lake, the lake inside the lake is just right over those trees right there. Probably just a hop, skip, and a jump, if I remember right from the map. I didn't bring a map with me. Always gotta forget something. Wavy and I are trying to find the trail going into Perch Lake. We popped into something here and there's a fire ring. So people have come and camped. Let's see if this might be it. Is this the trail? Let's go. Come on. I think Wavy, we might have found a use for Wavy. I think she found the trail. Go. Perch Lake. Well, guys, welcome to the lake inside of a lake. Perch Lake on Manitou Island. We could never find a trail. We had to blaze our own. It was miserable too. Found some swamps that came up to my knees. I'm glad I didn't bring or try to bring the canoe. There has to be a trail coming in here unless it's people just don't come back here anymore and it's been overgrown, which is very possible because this is basically just a northern jungle. But I would love to fish it just to say I did it. Another bucket list thing. I think what we're going to do is, now that we found it, I'm going to talk to my buddy who lives in Copper Harbor, who grew up there, and he's been coming out here since he was a kid, and he's in his 70s now. And he's going to tell me where this trail is, if there is one. And we're going to get some kind of boat back here, kayak maybe. But we're going to do it in September. And we're going to bring the boat all the way into Fisherman's Cove when there's no black flies, no mosquitoes. It's fall, basically the best time of year. And we're going to try to fish this. So we found it. We know it's here. But I'm not going to try to fish it today. So we'll come back in September. Listen how quiet it is out here. Okay guys, let's see if we can find our way back. Somewhere beyond those trees. Man, if you wanted to not be found, this would be a place to do it. And of course I'm having to carry Useless. If I put her on the leash, she just gets wrapped around everything in about 5 seconds. And if I took her off the leash, she'd be a permanent resident of Manitou until winter came. So, Useless. You're useless. And you're shivering. Well, hey guys. So, probably not going to believe this. Because people, do stuff like this for drama and clicks and all that on YouTube. But that's not me, and I'll never do that. I don't need to. But I'm actually lost. I just keep doing circles. Perch Lake is right here. I'm just laying in the weeds, exhausted. And it's just right here on the other side of my head. Here's Wavy. And Lake Superior is that way. But I can't find a trail, and you can't get any perspective on where you are. And so what ends up happening is your mind just subconsciously follows the path of least resistance, which in this case is just making me go around in a circle. So I've discovered Perch Lake 3 times now. But now I figured out what's north and Fisherman Cove. So I will get out of here and I will not panic. There's Wavy. Following her nose. Okay, guys. I decided coming through a half a mile of that, or so, I don't know, a quarter mile. Feels like 10 miles. But I can see the lake if I stand on this stump. I made it. I was praying to God and meaning it, saying, I don't ask for too much that I know of. Please, let me get back to the boat. Okay, Wavy, I think we're gonna make it. You're kidding. You are kidding me. I just did another circle. Well, hey guys. So, this is probably pretty abrupt here. I'm going to do this video kind of linearly. Yes. You can see here I'm going past the lighthouse. There it is. And there's a shoal that sticks out here and I have to watch it. So, I'm going back to fetch the dinghy right now in Fisherman's Cove, which is on the other side, the east side of the lighthouse. And when I went in to get some footage of Perch Lake, or the lake inside the lake, I got lost. It was terrifying, but it was also educational. And excuse me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a video about it, and I'm going to put it over on the Yooper-Loper channel, because I don't want to subject people to something that's just a lot of talking. Over here on this is just strictly kind of like action footage and stuff like that, you know, for the most part, with a little bit of talking in between to explain what's going on, you know, telling the story. But because my phone died when I was out there in the woods, I couldn't really get much footage. I think the last, well, you'll see. So, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go fetch my dinghy here in Fisherman's Cove. Hopefully it's still there. I imagine it is. And I'll make a little more footage of kind of just to give you guys a distance orientation of what I just went through today. And also what I learned. So if you're interested, the link's in the description below. Well, everything's just where I left it. Usually thieves are pretty lazy, so they're not going to come out to Manitou to steal stuff. Hey guys, I'm going to turn the phone around and try and show you guys all the bruises on my legs from crashing through that brush on Manitou. That's not dirt, that's one big bruise. Let's try to show you the other leg. And I was wearing pants too. Well, hey guys. I know that was kind of a strange ending to this series, but that's just kind of the way it went. My phone died, and then it got wet, and the choppiness you'll see in the last few scenes is because it was kind of trying to come back to life. So, but what I did was today I went to the park, and I tried to bring the day back in my mind and kind of fill in some details and do an account, you know, kind of like a narration of it, of what it was like to be lost in the woods there for about 8 hours. So if you're interested, there's a link in the description below. It's over at the Yooper-Loper channel. I won't blame you if you got enough here. So, okay, guys. Well, thanks for sticking with me as always. Thanks for putting up with me. Thanks for putting up with the Beagle there. And we've been home for 4 or 5 days. I got some work done, some lawns mowed, and we're going to take off on the scooter. Now we're going to go out to the Black Hills. So just one adventure after another. We got to cram them in before we don't lose our freedom entirely. So, okay, guys, I will catch you later.